Well, officially, we can say Happy New Year. It is Tuesday, January 1st, 2019. Officially, we can say that I don't know how to hit the right button because I'm dumb again.
You did it again.
I did it again. You're right. So, let's do this properly. Welcome to another edition of the Tuesday Wrestling Popcast, exclusively here on the Popcast Network. My name is Owen. Joining me, as always, is Ashley.
It's weird. New Year seems like the old year in many different
Got a
ways.
lot to talk about tonight. And I'm not going to lie to you, right at this very moment, I have no interest in talking WWE right now.
It's sort of a shame because there was interesting talking points to come out of the last couple of days. So, I mean, I guess, okay, this is already pre-recorded stuff, so people have already found out. But of course, the thing that we didn't get from last week is I'm only mentioning this in side order. We won't fully go through last week's SmackDown. But randomly at the end, Vinnie Mac's there with AJ, basically asking, wanting to know what to do, and Vince is there like, you've got to, find the beast within you sort of thing. And AJ beats the shit out of Vince McMahon. And then he goes away and officials are checking on Vince, and Vince is smiling because he's been attacked. I mean, it's different, I guess.
It's very unique, to say the least.
I mean, I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to have it like, oh, you've got to embrace your dark side a little bit.
Right.
But my issue isn't there the risk that he just does this and nobody gives a shit? This is at risk for making people cheer Daniel Bryan, and then they'll boo AJ. Because people are so behind the Daniel Bryan character, even though he's trying to be heel, but it might blow up in their face. And not in the sort of like misguided, when they did it with Becky back at SummerSlam, you had the ambiguousness there, that it was like, the crowd could have easily interpreted it as a heel turn, or as they did, turned out it was just her expressing sort of her frustration. Because we've already clarified that, oh no, this person is definitely heel and this person is definitely face.
Well,
I really don't know what's going on.
if you're trying to get people to boo Daniel Bryan, which good luck with that, I will state right now that one of the things that is going to endear him to the internet wrestling community is definitely going to be this planet's champion ideal he's going with. It's genius. It makes too much sense.
It certainly does, and just it leaves me intrigued as to what is going to come anyway.
And of course, you have Becky come out and go after Cena. So I mean, we'll get to that.
Oh, and the other thing that happened last week, Rusev won the US title.
About time.
To round off what the fuck is going on? Yeah. For Nakamura.
I really think he's going back to New Japan.
Goes from winning the Rumble to having a great match at Mania, then seemingly obsessed with fucking hitting AJ Styles in the dick. Then I'm trying to remember who he won the bloody US title of. Hardy, wasn't it?
I believe so.
And then when he had the belt, he was on TV 4 times?
Right.
And that was it?
Pretty much.
So I have no clue.
Welcome Jeremy Mills to chat. Logan Burton says AEW, AEW, AEW. Happy New Year, guys. Yeah, we're just getting the WWE stuff out of the way so we can talk about the more important stuff that's coming this week.
Is Nakamura being swapped for Kenny?
You know, it wouldn't be shocking.
Although I doubt it, because they've left it up in the air as to sort of have somebody that, you know, Nakamura can face now.
Right.
But then, why would he? Because there's no automatic rematches. We'll get to that.
True.
All this is overshadowing that the Rusev's US champion, finally, for God's sake.
As a baby face.
Yeah.
About time.
Rusev Day USA. Rusev Day USA. It's like, oh my God.
But is it too little, too late?
Maybe, but at least the belt's on him.
Yeah, I'll give them that. They finally pulled the trigger. It's about time, too.
So with Raw opened up sort of immediately with a McIntyre Ziggler cage match, which was overall solid. McIntyre hitting a Claymore sort of out of nowhere and gave him a second and actually got a pinfall victory. No escape stuff or anything.
Interesting.
And afterwards, Ziggler's going, "Is that all you got?" So he went back in the cage, pinned Ziggler down with a chair against the cage, hit him with another Claymore. Got a mic and said he was the king of the Raw jungle. Told Ziggler to walk away, but kept trying to get his scraps. And Ziggler doesn't deserve the scraps. This chapter's closed. It's now time to prove that he's king of the WWE. Because he said he'd win the Rumble match and fulfill his destiny by winning the Universal title. And then Ziggler gets laid out with another Claymore again. Then Seth's out. Excited for his fresh start. And wanting another shot at Ambrose. And here comes Triple H, who says there's no more anything because, you know, there's no automatic rematches anymore. And I'm like, okay, this is now starting to get a problem. Because it's like automatic rematches make sense. You know, it's as if they did all this hype for the feud and it's going to be blown off in one match.
That's exactly right.
And in turn, a match where we've already had the rematch and we don't need any more hype is happening again with AJ and Bryan.
Yep.
Okay, he earned the match by winning a 5-way, but consistency.
What's that?
It's a word.
No, it's not. It's a fallacy in your head.
No, the fallacy in my head is fucking Holmes and Watson. Sorry, I got triggered. The one interesting bit here was Hunter's speech saying, you don't deserve a rematch at all, I was always the most vocal supporter of you, Seth. Bringing up the history, saying that he only used him as a puppet. Seth made him believe in what he was doing for his actions and his words. Mentions the WrestleMania match, saying that Seth kicked his ass until he made him believe in him again. Seth says, look, I'm not asking for anything. I've carried Raw over the past year. I've been here having classic matches with Finn and even Mojo. And I'm going, I completely forgot that he faced Mojo, so, I don't think that was a classic. And he's done all this while Brock was away. Do you want the old Seth back? And Hunter's like, yeah. And, show it to me. Tonight you're getting Lashley. And Seth goes, I'll burn Lashley down and take everything away from Dean. And I'll go after anybody that comes in my way, even if it's your family. So out comes Shane and he goes, not Seth. You get ready to your match, but Dean needs an opponent for tonight, so it's time for the Fresh Start Battle Royal, which features a whole load of people. The only ones that got entrances were Finn Balor, No Way Jose,
What?
and Baron Corbin. The final four were Cruz, Hawkins, Ryder, and Corbin. So Ryder got thrown out first, then Hawkins. And it was down to the two of them. Cruz managing to escape out of a chokeslam by backflipping out of it. There's a nice little bit, and then a couple of enziguris after each other. And Apollo wins. Admittedly, eliminating apparently 8 competitors.
Interesting.
Which is because I think Balor eliminated all of Lucha House Party, so I guess he must have got eliminated by Connor, and he must have taken out Connor and Victor and Jose. Titus O'Neil got eliminated by Lucha. I guess Mojo, maybe. And Tyler, I think, as well. Anyway, I'm trying to lose count. The important thing is Apollo Crews is facing Dean later on the night. Doesn't go well. Then Dasher asks Natalia about the year she's had and what the future holds in 2019, and Nia comes in and says, will Ronda even be champion by the time it comes to Mania, with the Rumble and all that? And Tamina and Jax attack her. I'm going, oh God. And Corbin's still in the ring, saying that he's the one that deserves an award for dealing with the sponsors. And I'm like, yeah, I'm really sure the sponsors blamed you for the shit. Which meant Elias came out, and Detroit was run down, but he and his friend Kid Rock agree that Detroit's making a comeback. And I'm going, that's not a great name to bring up. at all. And then Elias's song was just about Corbin going away. And they got into a fight for a little bit, and then Corbin ran away. So I guess Elias won, maybe. Then Banks, Bailey, and Ember Moon beat the Riot Squad in an okayish match. Bailey winning with a elbow drop onto Logan. So I guess that's what you get for having a Viking wedding. And then show Braun Strowman's highlights, most of which was beating the shit out of Kevin Owens. One of his lowlights, Owens and Watson. Then we had Lashley and Rollins, which Lashley won actually by DQ. Because Rollins basically gets a steel chair and uses it to overpower Lashley, and then lacerates him and lacerates him and lacerates him with these chair shots. Rollins lays out Rush after Rush tries to springboard save. And yeah. Then Rollins stomped Rush afterwards as well with the curb variety. So why are they having Seth and AJ do the same fucking angle? Except one didn't attack a McMahon. All these new faces are coming to WWE. Maybe. They keep saying that they are, and they never do. John Cena's on Raw next week. Because they're desperate for ratings. Which, considering now that they're not going head-to-head with any football anymore, they sort of need to, I guess. Then Jinder and the Singh brothers beat Slater and Rhino. I don't know when we were informed that Rhino got his job back, but whatever. Then thanks to a distraction from one of the Singh brothers, Jinder low kicked Rhino and then hit him with the Callas and got the win. And it's like, and Gable and Brood saying, they can't think of anything better than to take on Revival next week, and they'll continue to make the tag team glorious. I guess that was one of the New Year's resolutions a little bit. Dean won to retain. Pretty decent, but it's like, so you push a new face and immediately bury him in the same bloody show. Gotta love it. And then here's Alexa saying, I'm going to miss running the War Women's division. I made history, because if you say that enough times, eventually it becomes true, I guess. Is that a dig at, like, Stephanie and the history thing? Maybe? A Moment of Bliss, her new talk show will be debuting next week, and her debut guest will be Rhonda. She then interestingly knocked Piper, saying that Rhonda had better dress up, as she'll be in the ring with a goddess, not slumming it in some pit. In all honesty, this is what the bloody Q&A session should have been in the first place. Wouldn't you say, Owen?
I would say it's probably not a bad idea.
You need somebody that be able to do a talk show spot. Obviously, on the men's side at the minute, I'd say you've got Because you aren't going to do the Between Two Ferns with Dean Ambrose anymore, are you? And the only person that truly is qualified to do it is still coming back. Please come back, Kevin. Please. And then Ronda and Natalia beat Nia Jax and Tamina in the sort of an absolutely average, not very special main event. And you never know. I guess this is a main event that Ty Dillinger approved of because the white women won. Should we bring that up now? Well, to be honest, Ty's stupid. Because if Ty was the one that brought up, well, you know, all these women had great moments, not realizing that what Nia was expressing is the fact that the only shots that they were showing was of white women in the thing, despite the fact that, you know, Nia being completely mismanaged actually, you know, won the title this year. And there wasn't even sort of any recognition of. Trying to think, Naomi didn't. When did Charlotte get the belt? Can't even remember. I don't think Naomi had the title, did she?
Hasn't been for a long time.
I lose track of those things. So in SmackDown tonight, starts with New Day. Big E being dressed like a baby, because, okay. Xavier says that all three of them are entering the Rumble. They could challenge Brock Lesnar, but Brock might not even show up. You know, Kofi says that he hasn't missed a day in 11 years, but can't get a title shot. And then Wood says that due to doctor's orders, they can no longer eat pancakes. Despite the fact of this, Big E was still eating pancakes. And then they hyped up this fatal five-way thing, with the fifth person to be determined from the opening match with Jeff Hardy and Samoa Joe. So yeah, they're getting rid of the gimmicks that actually made people interested in New Day. Is this another concern? That the new era is getting rid of the things that actually people may have liked? Anyway, Samoa Joe got the win. As Jeff passed out to the Coquina clutch. So he's in the five-way alongside AJ, Mustafa Ali, Mysterio, and Orton. So then AJ's backstage with Vince and Shane after they showed him attacking Vince from the week before. And he was going to, he teased apologizing but didn't, and then threatened him. And Styles promised to show the real him in the main event. And then Shane's like, you want the real Shane? Well, you want the real AJ? And Vince is like, yeah! So then we have the Rusev Day USA celebration thing with Nakamura attacking from behind, with Lana basically jumping on Nakamura's back to pull him up from Rusev. And then Rusev hit the Machka kick on Nakamura, and Nakamura basically slammed Lana down because she was still held on to his back and whatever. And then Nakamura hit the Kinshasa on Rusev, so it's like, oh, okay. So then then they're doing this angle. So apparently last week, Mandy Rose was trying to get a fucking mistletoe kiss or something with Jimmy Uso, which Naomi, was like, "Oh no, you don't," sort of thing. Before it started, Mandy took off her shirt to reveal an Uso t-shirt. She went after Mandy, but then Sonya beat her up, and then the bell rang. So yes, the match is actually Sonya and Naomi. And then right at the end, Rose gets a mic and goes, while I was getting ready earlier, I was thinking of Jimmy, so I decided to send him a picture of myself like this, and they put it on the screen. And it's Mandy and only a towel that apparently got sent to it, and Naomi's pissed. The distraction gave Deville the win. And I'm going, oh wow, this progressive storyline means that we have to bloody break up marriages, apparently. Are we beyond this, WWE? This may be new, but you're doing it in all the wrong bloody ways. Completely. Then interestingly, there was some New Year resolution stuff. Iconics want tag team titles. Gallows and Anderson want to clear out the nerds. And then Shelton Benjamin just sort of shows up from out of nowhere for the first time in months and says that resolutions are a waste of time and destroys the green screen. I'm going, oh. Well, nice to see you, Shelton. You exist. There comes Cena. And says, last year's been a bit of a mixed year, I literally bought a ticket to WrestleMania, and perhaps I shouldn't have drunk that many beers because I got my ass handed to me. My personal life played out on TV, and I've lived in China for a whole number of months doing a movie. I don't have a reason to be here. And let's be honest, in 30 seconds, some man's music is going to play and interrupt. They'll make fun of my hair and bring up that I'm a broken down part-timer, and saying my relationship status is terrible. So I wanted the interruption, except it's Becky Lynch. And Becky Lynch goes, you were expecting a man, but instead you got the man. And let's be honest, I didn't target Flair this year. I targeted you too, Cena. Your face has been on the billboards, the posters, the trucks, and everything for the past 16 years. And now it's my time to take your place. And if you got a problem with that, I guess Nikki Bella won't be the only woman that drops you this year. And I'm going, yeah, but it's 2019. Continuity. Out the window. And then Almas and Vega interrupts and says that they're old news. The McMahon family promised new faces, but all she sees is an old face and a broken face. And that 2019 is the year of Tranquila. Well, it would be, but with WWE booking, I don't have hopes. At all. So Cena goes, okay. You two against me and Becky in a mixed tag match right now. And Becky wins with the disarmer on Vega, of course, because we can't have any, intergender stuff. I guess the big thing to come out of it afterwards, Cena's going to shake Becky's hand, and Becky just does the "you can't see me" right in his face. And she heads up the ramp, and Cena's just like, you know what? Yeah. Even he realizes. So Shane's in the middle of a meeting, but Miz interrupts, and he's come up with some ideas for their tag team, which apparently is still going ahead despite the Authority, angle stuff not happening. And he's got an idea for ring wear, and it's basically just Miz's attires on Shane. With one bit where he was saying, "That isn't my body, that's Goldberg's, isn't it?" And Miz is like, "No, your body's way better than Goldberg's." And then he asked Miz to go for his, tap into your creativity. And using this opportunity, Shane runs the fuck away. And that happened. And then Triple H is with Asuka and says, "Who deserves the title shot at the Rumble?" Here comes Charlotte. Here comes Carmella. Here comes Becky Lynch. Well, I can understand Charlotte and Becky. Carmella's already number 30 in the Rumble. Why would they give her another shot? In all honesty. And then a pretty busy 5-way, as you'd expect. AJ hits a springboard 450 on Orton. To actually get the win and challenge Daniel Bryan for the title at the Royal Rumble. Part 3 of their feud, I guess you can call it that. Begins now and whatever. Nothing announced for next Tuesday SmackDown, apart from the fact that 3 hours before there's a rally happening. And it's nothing to do with the E. Well, sorry. It's to do with an E, except it's not the WWE. It's an elite. So, Midnight Pacific came round. And the rumors were true. All Elite Wrestling is a thing. Double or Nothing is a thing. And there's going to be a press conference free rally thing. I believe outside the Jacksonville Jaguars Stadium, is it? We're talking about All Elite Wrestling, Owen. You should be awake. Owen.
I'm here.
We're talking about the interesting stuff that you want to talk about, like All Elite.
We'll get there.
The meeting is the meeting outside the Jacksonville Jaguars Stadium.
Apparently it's taking place outside of the same venue that SmackDown is going to go down that day.
It's not the same arena, though, I think, is it? Isn't it outside the stadium that the bloke that owns the football club over here and the Jags?
No.
Is it not?
I don't believe so. Let me find out. I can look into it.
Yeah. The rally is at TIAA Bank Field, the home of the Jags, at 5 p.m. Eastern next Tuesday. And I don't know where the arena is in Jacksonville for SmackDown. I know it's obviously nearby because I think the idea is that they're hooking onto that to like with all the stuff and whatever.
The venue is the Veterans Memorial Arena.
but it's in the same area, so
Should be.
So what we know from Papa Dave in Japan, because I guess he's been told directly, there's people already signed to the promotion, including Cody. Although, interestingly, even though it's their arguable creation, the Young Bucks are not contracted at the minute to All Elite Wrestling. I guess because the contracts expired January 5th.
That's the only I can think of.
For the New Year Dash. There's no TV deal out there, but there are multiple offers.
TNT is one of them as well.
Apparently, the offers have basically come in was because of All In.
Makes sense.
A lot of people in the TV industry were very impressed by the fact it was. I mean, okay, it was a Ring of Honor sort of helped out affair, but it was all sort of promoted solely by them. Yeah, there it is, Tony Khan. He's the head of the company. Son of billionaire Shahid Khan, and is a long-time wrestling fan. So hopefully that means the All Elite Wrestling comes to the UK because of Fulham. Please God. In terms of what happens with All Elite and New Japan, it's up in the air. Everybody in All Elite wants to have a relationship with New Japan, wants to continue working with them, and it's just a case of whether New Japan do. Which might explain some stuff that happened with New Japan in the last few days, but we'll get to that. And then also Dave believes that there won't be Ring of Honor people working for All Elite. Hence why Marty Scurll did not feature at all in the video stuff or anything. I think he will still be part of the Elite, but won't be part of the actual entity of All Elite Wrestling. And as Meltzer noted, WWE as well as Ring of Honor and All Elite were all wanting Bandido and all putting in offers. And Bandido took the ROH deal, maybe because he could still do other shows around the world that Ring of Honor authorized, along with being able to do his stuff in Mexico still. But you know, a lot of people believe that this is the closest thing now to what, WCW now?
I would say so.
The fact you've got Ring of Honor desperately looking for talents, WWE desperately looking for talents, All Elite obviously looking for talents to sign up. There's a lot of names that are available. So I have to see what goes down. And all that. Now with the New Japan stuff, because obviously we are heading into the Kingdom of Wrestling. I think that's how it's pronounced. There was an interesting video package that showed up on the Elite's YouTube channel. It was written and directed by Kenny Omega and Toby Fox. And as soon as I heard that name, I was like, wait, what? And yeah, I guess because it was Kenny's Game of the Year, they actually incorporated Undertale into this video thing. Basically, it's this young Japanese kid that wants Kenny's quest. the dad saying, "Surely you want Tanner's quest, right? He's the good guy." And the kid's like, "No, I like him." And Kenny's secretly sort of working as the shot person, even though you can blatantly tell it's him. And he gets the game, and it's sort of an Undertale thing, and it's like Tanahashi saying, "What you've done with the title, Kenny, is irresponsible. You wanting to make it on a global scale, but you haven't brought any respect or honor to the title." And it goes into an Undertale battle, and Tanner's all powerful with his high fly flow, and the kid sort of gives up. And then the Bucks suddenly show up sort of in the game and start physically somehow kicking the TV from digital land to get the kid back. And it's like, his supporters were behind him. Hangman Cody, Pharaoh, Brandy, the Bucks, and of course Ibushi. And then there's just a message that sort of gets sinister at the end, which I'm thinking is maybe why New Japan didn't like it. Because if people play Undertale, the whole idea is it's like there's a true evil that's about, and if it's like, right, you're slagging off the company, and it's like, it's the only rule is kill or be killed, and then it cuts off. Partly, I'm thinking it's because they're not happy with, how it was portrayed with as like New Japan are actually the bad guys, not the good guys. But then at the same time, the stuff that we don't know about is, what if Kenny hasn't signed a contract yet? Why would they want to give him the time and space to showcase all this stuff if he's going to literally work for the rivals? Because there's no confirmation of where he's going yet, I believe, Owen. Still waiting on tenterhooks, so I don't
I'm also
know.
not answer questions right now. I think we'll find out more next week when we get the actual rally.
We'll find out, yeah. The pre-show, well, I say the pre-show, the fan fest stuff on Thursday, Wrestle Kingdom itself Friday, and the New Year Dash on Saturday. Then, yes, the question is, do you have Kenny go immediately? If Kenny does go to the E, does he immediately go to the main roster? Or do they have him go to NXT? In all honesty, if it was good enough for AJ, I guess it'd have to be good enough for Kenny, wouldn't it? Because it would be a bit of an anticlimax if it was. The little tidbit of news that did come out today, though, from New Japan, apparently it's already surpassed the paid attendance for last year's Tokyo Dome show. At this moment, the number of tickets sold this year has exceeded the number of visitors for Wrestle Kingdom 12. And that, of course, that the 34,995, not all of them were paid. Some of them were papered. So the fact that tickets already sold have it gone beyond that, I guess it's got a strong enough card that it's going to interest people. So, I don't know. Should we give predictions on this, Owen? Owen.
I'm here.
Should we do some predictions?
Yeah, I would.
So the pre-show Rumble match thing, to crown number one contenders for the 6-man tag titles. I honestly think it will be Cobb, Finlay, and Goto. Because I think that, that'd be an interesting three to have. I don't know. Your choice, Owen?
God. Who do we got in the match again?
We got Makabe, Yano, and Taguchi.
Okay.
Nagata, Cobb, and Finlay. Sorry. Yeah. Nagata, Cobb, and Finlay. Goto, Beretta, and Chucky T. So I guess I meant Nagata, Cobb, and Finlay are winning the title. Suzuki, Davey Boy Smith Jr., and Lance Archer. And Hangman Page, Marty Scurll, and Yujiro.
I think it's going to be just a very out of nowhere win for the Bullet Club here, for the Elite of the Bullet Club. It would be a shocking win that no one's expecting. I want to see.
You think they might drop the titles at Korakuen Hall then?
I do think so. And
No,
I think this is going to.
Hang on. What I mean by that is because I looked at the schedule because they had it up when they did the New Year Shibuya press conference thing. They're doing 5 Fantastica Mania shows, which is less than they've done before. 3 of which are at Korakuen Hall, but then they're doing. I don't even know if they're New Beginning shows. Let me see if I can get the actual title of them. But they're doing. I'm trying to remember. So the Fantastica Mania is Osaka, Ehime, Kyoto. Oh, they are doing more shows. It's just only 5 of them are being streamed then by the looks of it. Because they're doing Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Sunday, Monday. Can't remember which of those are being streamed, but only 5 of them are being streamed. Oh, okay. It's Road to the New Beginning, January 28th and 29th at Korakuen Hall. Those are the ones that I saw on the screen. New Beginning. I don't think they'd do it New Beginning USA, would they?
Maybe.
That'd be a bit odd. Because remember, with that New Beginning USA stuff, the people working the USA shows are not working the Japanese shows. Which in that case, it was. I guess it would make sense with Hangman Page and Marty if you were to switch the titles to somebody else there. But then at the same time, at least in my prediction, would they have Nagata come to America? I guess it'd be a somewhat major thing because he doesn't normally feature in sort of title matches or anything big in Japan anyway. So, there's 2 New Beginning in Sapporo, Saturday and Sunday, February 2nd and 3rd. Then there's a New Beginning in Osaka on February 11th. New Japan Roadshow in Korakuen Hall towards the end of February. And then Honor Rising, 2 straight nights, February 22nd and 23rd. Again at the Hall of Korakuen. And then the anniversary show is March 6th. And New Japan Cup is March 8th through to 24th for the looks of it. So there's quite a lot of stuff set to go down in the next few months that they've announced. That's always one of the best bits when they do the actual video packages to announce what's going on with like G1, because they normally go to only G1 Climax, don't they?
Yeah.
Which I guess makes sense because that's like 6 or 7 months. So, I'm just going through the cards. So I'm trying to see where it would fit in the titles changing back because it depends what is going on with Page. So Oh, that's the. Okay, I might as well quickly run through the Fan Fest shows as well. Tiger Mask and Liger versus Imura and Narita. Nakanishi and Nagata versus Hanare and Honma. And then Tenkoji versus Yoshida and Umino. So with Wrestle Kingdom 13, okay, they're doing the pre-show thing, but it's like the opening match is going to be Ibushi versus Ospreay. Do New Japan not realize that the best match of the show might be their opening match and everything's an anticlimax afterwards?
Wouldn't be surprising.
I think Ibushi will retain. Although it would be interesting if Ospreay does win. Your pick, Owen?
Part of me wants to say Broadway. And make the fans want more.
True.
I mean, they've got an hour, but that's the problem with that. You really want to start off Wrestle Kingdom with an hour draw.
The problem is you're already going to have a 40-something minute pre-show, aren't you?
Yeah.
More than likely. At least half an hour. So you're going to have a long match and then another long match. I'm thinking they're going to give it about 20 minutes. Because I know the next match isn't going to go 20 minutes because it's Kanemaru and El Desperado defending the junior belts against the Super Junior tag winners of Roppongi 3K. And then because randomly these have to be challengers as well for some reason, Bushi and Shingo Takagi. I think it has to be Bushi and Shingo.
That's what I'm thinking too.
Hype the shit out of them. I mean, why else did he leave Dragon Gate? With the Pac-Man doing this shit. Ishii and Zack Sabre Jr. for the British Heavyweight title. I'm thinking Ishii retains. All I know is Rev Pro are going to be loving this.
Mm.
For you, Owen?
I can't see Sabre beating Ishii. Not yet. I think it happens, but I don't think it's now.
Hmm.
I think it's some mileage out of having him as champion.
Next up, the triple threat for the tag titles. Gorillas of Fuck against the World Tag League winners, Sonata and Evil. And the Bucks. I'm thinking Gorillas retain. Because if they're going to drop the title, if they're going to drop the six-man titles.
Well, I mean, there could be the curveball.
What, they drop the tag and keep the six-mans?
No. You put the elite over the whole night, and it's announced the next day that there's a working relationship with New Japan.
I guess we'll have to see how that goes.
The only thing I can guarantee in this match is you're not going to see LIJ win this. It's either going to be retaining or the Bucks are going to win. But if there's if they retain, they're beating the Bucks. That makes sense. And that's going to be their
out on your back.
Yeah, exactly.
Cody and Juice Robinson for the US heavyweight title. I think this is where Juice actually gets over.
I think so.
In Japan.
This is the match that they've been building for and building towards, and I've been talking about this stuff for a long time.
Well, they did do it.
They're gonna put Cody. They're gonna put Juice over on Cody's way out.
Mm-hmm.
It makes the most sense to me.
Kushida being challenged by Ishimori for the junior heavyweight title. I'm thinking Ishimori might win.
I think Kushida retains.
Because there are rumors that Kushida could be going to the E.
Oh God, don't do that.
Hey, they got money.
He needs to go to the E with him in the middle, not on the end.
What's wrong with Empire State Wrestling? Then in a weird place on the card, despite the fact that it literally has nothing. Every other match has a title, apart from Okada versus Jay White. Yet somehow it's still match number 7 on the card. Okada wins, the Jay White experiment fails.
Yeah, I don't think Jay White's winning.
Because they've literally done completely the wrong shit with they completely done the wrong shit with Jay White. The guy had potential and he's sort of been just mismanaged by New Japan. Sort of partially feel sorry for him. Then Jericho versus Naito for the IC title.
I got a surprise. What about you flip the script here? I'm thinking Okada wins. You know how he wins?
Mm-hmm.
Ghetto helps him win. It was all a ruse to lure Jay White into a false sense of security.
That makes Gato look like a twat, though.
Wouldn't be the first time they've done that, though.
Well, to some extent, but it's like, ooh.
I don't see. Here's the thing about Jericho and Naito. I'm not sure because the booking that I really want to see happen here is something that would never happen in a million years. Because it's not possible.
Mm.
I just think Jericho retains and then Nakamura shows up and lays him out.
No, I honestly think Naito wins.
And Jericho goes all elite.
Well, he's going somewhere.
Well, they just announced the Jericho Cruise too, and it could be branded with all elite.
Maybe, but then
That's
at the
what I'm
same
thinking.
time, would WWE be desperate enough to sign him up and let him do his own individual projects like the Cruise?
I'm honestly thinking Jericho doesn't want anything to do with
On
their
a special deal, or does he randomly go to Impact and then people actually might want to watch the Pursuit channel?
That would be Don Callis getting him as the big signee to bring in 2019.
Because then, if you had Aries versus Jericho,
oh boy,
would that actually get Aries wanting to come back?
I think it would. As
And
much as
then
I hate Eli,
go ahead.
as much as I hate Eli Drake, he's somebody that they can do something with if they really want to. Eli Drake and Jericho on the mic could be really entertaining.
Then again, what's going on with his contract? Hell,
Yeah.
DJ Z and Trevor Lee just lost their contracts. So who knows? Because I don't.
Should be interesting.
And then of course Kenny and Hiroshi. The thing that has me concerned is the only other time they face each other, Omega beat Tanner to get the IC title.
Right.
Which I think was a vacant title, from what I remember.
Mm-hmm.
Because I think Nakamura dropped the belt after basically walking out on him.
Right.
Let me just double check. Yeah, Kenny won the vacated title, beating Tanahashi. So we're establishing that Tanahashi's never beaten Kenny.
Yep. And a lot of people are thinking Kenny's on his way out. So it'd be the perfect time to do it.
As much as I want Omega to stay, I'm just thinking that they're going to put it on Tanahashi. But we'll see. That could be a complete giant fucking surprise. I'm trying to work out what it's... Oh, okay. By movie, they actually mean New Japan World. Just noticed on New Japan's website, because I don't know why I was bothering to look for a card for New Year's Dash, because there never is
that's
one.
impossible.
The only thing I can, as I say, expect is Ishimori and the Gorillas will be defending the 6-man belts against whoever wins the pre-show Rumble. Or the pre-show Gauntlet, I should say. Trying to think what else we got. Oh, apparently Villain Enterprises are facing the Briscoes and Silas Young. That's the Honor Reign Supreme. And whatever. Oh, yeah, Floyd Mayweather. That fucking, I don't know what it was. You know, the Rising thing. Floyd won in sort of like 2 minutes and change. Making the undefeated kickboxer kid look absolutely shit. Which now makes me wonder why the hell they put him in, because it's like you're trying to build this guy as like, you know, one to watch in sort of mixed martial arts and, you know, all that sort of stuff. And he gets his ass handed to him by somebody that, let's be honest, could retire any day. You know, Mayweather could just go, yeah, I've had enough. Any point. Probably won't, but whatever. Sticking with the MMA stuff. UFC 232. Of course, John Jones won, despite the fact, despite, you know, his drugs tests and everything and whatever. Who knows what that means. And then, of course, he wanted Cormier to come get his belt back. I think he's happy enough at being heavyweight. Admittedly, there's still no word on what's going on with Lesnar and everything.
Mm-hmm.
But the more impressive thing was Amanda Nunes knocking out Cyborg in about 51 seconds. So, the first 2-belt champion. And then, in all honesty, with the fact that Cyborg now only has one more fight before March, because her contract expires in March, and she's got one fight left on her deal and whatever. The question is, does Nunes hold both belts? Or, more realistically, does she kill a division? Because the featherweight title was pretty much created just so they could get Cyborg in. So now that Cyborg may not be in, do they just drop the belt like they're probably doing? Because there aren't that many women that are actually in the featherweight division. They're in the strawweight and the bantamweight. That's where the action's happening. So I just don't know. In terms of like the other major matches on the main card, Michael Chiesa beat Carlos Condit with a Kimura. Corey Anderson beat Ilya Tifi via a 29-28 across all three judges' scorecards. And Alexander Volkanovski beat Chad Mendes with a second round TKO. BJ Penn comfortably got beaten by Ryan Hall on the Fox Sports 1 prelims. That was rather sad. Also rather sad, but in a more concerning way. Megan Anderson beat Kat Zingano in only 61 seconds because it had to be stopped because Megan managed to accidentally catch Zingano right in the eye socket with her toe, which led to a major injury. See if I can actually get the details from it because I think it was in the daily update from the Observer. I can't say from Dave because he's just chilling in Japan. Yeah, Kat Zingano was apparently on ESPN. I'm guessing maybe with Ariel Helwani's New Year's Eve show that he did last night. I have a damaged iris, damaged retina, hemorrhage in the back of my eye, increased globe pressure, and of course the laceration. They want me back at the doctor every 3 to 4 days to make sure there's no detachment on the retina. Right now, they have to keep it dilated and on steroids for the next 2 weeks to keep the pressure down. Wow. Pretty nasty injury. And also Andrei Arlovski, former heavyweight champ, losing via split decision to Walt Harris. Interesting with this one. One of the judges gave it 30-27 to Arlovski, but the other two gave it 29-28 to Walt. So I don't know whether there was like a biased judge in favor of Arlovski there. That seemed a bit weird. Uriah Hall also won on the Fight Pass prelims as well with a third round knockout. The bonuses though, Volkanovski and Mendes, their featherweight bout that opened the actual pay-per-view card bit, got $50,000 each. And then Amanda Nunes for her knockout a Cyborg got $50,000 for performance, as did Ryan Hall's win over BJ Penn. The really interesting thing, Amanda Nunes probably became the most important or the best woman in the world ever. You know, even possibly even trumping Ronda because she beat her. And yet she only got $350,000 pay for the show. Yet Jones, Gustafsson, and Cyborg all got $500,000. That's nice. So in terms of the bonuses, Ryan Hall actually nearly tripled his money because he got $38,000. We only know this because, of course, California has to report the pay and whatever for winning and losing. So BJ Penn lost, but somehow still got $150,000. That's not fair. And Walt Harris as well beating Arlovski. He got $72,000 with a win bonus. and Arlovsky losing got 300,000. I don't know. Volkanovski and Chad Mendes sort of nearly doubled their money with their bonuses. And then Nunes obviously got 400,000 because the 350 doesn't include the $50,000 bonus as well. So no more UFC until Fight Night on ESPN Plus. It's weird. The arrangement that they're apparently doing for the UFC shows is the early prelims are going to be on ESPN Plus. Then the prelims are going to be on ESPN. And then the main card is going to be on ESPN Plus. So in some cases, that means that the ESPN prelim card is going to be more the main event for most people than the actual main event is going to be on ESPN Plus. I question the arrangement of that in a massive way. I know you're wanting people to sign up to ESPN Plus, but put it all on the card. Surely. I mean, it does sort of it does stand out, especially for this first one, because you've got Joanne Calderwood. Again, I'm biased there because she's got potential for the Scottish girl. But John Lineker's on the ESPN part of the card as well, and the Cowboy Don Cerrone is on there. Admittedly, on the ESPN Plus main card for that one, you have got Glover Teixeira and Paige Van Zandt and Henry Cejudo and Dillashaw in the main event, which could be enough to sort of pull people in and whatever. But at the same time, it's like risky business, and I don't mean Tom Cruise. So in terms of the Indie Windies, Progress. We'll get to them first. The final show of the year at the Electric Ballroom in London. Open with Trent Seven beating Los Federales Santos Jr. to attain the Atlas title. So I guess Trent isn't going anywhere just yet. Chris Ridgway won the six-way scramble, which also featured Spike Trivet, Mark Haskins, Travis Banks, Shigehiro Iri, and the debuting Jody Fleisch. Jordan Grace beat Ginny to win the Progress Women's title. Which I guess is fair. Drew Parker beat Chris Brooks in a pretty hardcore-ish match. Then the big swerve, Aussie Open dropped the Progress Tag Team titles to Paul Robinson and Will Ospreay. The Swords of Essex are randomly back. I don't know why, because it's not like Aussie Open are going to the E. So I get a bit of a weird change. Apparently also Robinson might have cut 17 arteries because he was bleeding. You know how a stuffed pig supposedly bleeds, Owen? Multiply it by 10. That's the way it was going. It was an Eddie Guerrero style gusher, apparently. Then Eddie Dennis took on. It was interesting. The ring camp music played, and everyone was like, "Ooh, Timothy Thatcher. Ooh, Volta," and it's like, nope. It's Marcel Bartel, the former Axel Tischer Jr. back for one night only, maybe. But then again, of course, if they're NXT UK people, they might still be part of it, maybe. And then Pete Dunne beat Tyler Bate in what it turns out to be Pete and Tyler's last matches for a while on the UK indie scene, implying that either one, they're going to be a major part of NXT UK, or two, they're going to be a major part of NXT, or three, they're going to be a major part of WWE. Delete as applicable, I guess. Then we come to last night, which I was watching instead of Raw. I will be honest. Beyond Wrestling. Heavy Lies Da Crown and all that. So I'm trying to get the results up because the page is being a bit of a bitch. There we go. I think it might be kicking in. The data is transferring. God, this is loading up like bloody Matt Hardy version 1, isn't it? God, it's taking a while. I might have to just go to bloody cage match. Also, it helps if I can spell the word beyond. Results. Oh, good, they are up. So we open with the 8-woman tag with Kimberly, Kylie Ray, Penelope Ford, and Skylar beating the Twisted Sisters, Harlow O'Hara, and Shotzi Blackheart. Kylie Ray getting the submission win on Harlow. Wheeler Yuta beat John Walters. Eddie Kingston, sort of in a relative squash match, beat Stokely Hathaway to become number one contender to the Powerbomb TV title, and he was wanting a piece of Tracy Williams. Matt Cross beat Andrew Everett. So, yeah, somebody actually went over on their birthday. What the hell's going on? And then Dickinson beat David Starr in about 14 seconds in an actual squash match. So I guess that's how David Starr leaves America. Yeah, he's gone. Chris Statlander beat Maxwell Jacob Friedman. Timothy Thatcher beat Simon Grimm. The Beaver Boys beat the Bird and the Bee of Solo Darling and Willow Nightingale. Then, interestingly, the Powerbomb Independent Wrestling title changed hands. Orange Cassidy actually beat Tracy Williams. So, only the third ever person to hold the belt. And of course, that leaves it interesting, you know. I guess Eddie Kingston versus Orange Cassidy is a Shikara dream match, maybe. Except it's going to be in Beyond Wrestling. Or maybe they do it on Shikara. Part of the show in April. Maybe. I don't know. And then Josh Briggs beat Nick Gage and the Fangs bring the weapons match in, I guess, the match that continues on Josh's big old streak. He's doing pretty well for himself. The AIW show from Friday. Wheeler Yuta beat Lewis Linden. PB Smooth, Hornswoggle, Space Monkey, Kikatara, and Colt Cabana beat the heel team of Ethan Page, Dr. Tennessee Rockingham, Mance Warner, Jock Sampson, and MJF. Maxwell Jacob and all that. And then the interesting one, which apparently raised an eyebrow of a certain Joey Janela. Hornswoggle pulled out Scott Steiner
Yeah, I saw
for
this.
WrestleMania weekend. I am confused. It's certainly a swerve, that's what I'm saying. The Young Studs, Eric Ryan and Bobby Beverly, beat PME of Philly Collins and Marino Tenaglia, Facade and Flip Kendrick, and the production of Derek Director and Eddie Only in the four-way. Matt Justice retained the Intense title against KTB. Eddie Kingston beat Zach Thomas, Dominic Greeny, and Josh Bishop in the four-way. To Infinity and Beyond beat Weird World to become champions for the tag division once again. Tim Donst beat Wes Barkley. Hot Sauce Tracy Williams retained the Absolute title over Matt Cross. And then Masato Tanaka beat Nick Gage. Once again proving that Nick Gage apparently likes losing this week. I guess. Trying to see if I can get the actual. We have got results from GCW. Their show from Asbury Park, New Jersey. The Dynasty. Jimmy Lloyd beat Sanchez. Jungle Boy went over KTB. Orange Cassidy beat Kikutaro. Eric Ryan beat Matt Tremont to become number one contenders of the GCW title. Tony Deppen beat Tracy Williams. Nick Gage retained the GCW title over Chris Dickinson. Hate Trash Disaster of Shellac and Marcus Crane beat G Raver and Jeff Cannonball. And then the GCW Extreme title was successfully defended by PCO against Masato Tanaka. So I guess PCO can still do GCW stuff then.
Yeah.
Despite his Ring of Honor things. Next event for GCW. Oh, of course, they're doing the freelance wrestling thing. Not next week, but the week after. Not this coming weekend, I should say, but next weekend. That is going down. Some other UK stuff. Just quickly trying to get all the various thing that went down. There was actually some Stardom stuff that happened over Christmas that we didn't mention. So Southside, Lethal London from Friday. Lethal retained the Ring of Honor World title against Gabriel Kidd. Joseph Connors and Ligero lost to Rob Lynch and Brett Blake in a tag match. And the Jaw Droppers retained the Southside tag titles against Kip Sabian and Shiana. That's Sean Custom and Zia Brookside anyway, the Jaw Droppers, by the way. And Shigehiro Eerie beat Bad Bones in the main event. Also, Robbie X beating El Fantasmo, Cara Noir beating Visage. Chris Redray overcoming Big Joe via submission, and Maverick Mayhew beating the OJMO. And then season beatings on the 30th. Apparently, Millie McKenzie wasn't on the show because she's in Japan. I guess doing Stardom stuff and also looking awesome with Jimmy Havoc and all that. So with season beatings, Rob Lynch beat J.K. Roberts in an open challenge to retain his Southside World title. Then in another open challenge, Gabriel Kidd and Saxon Huxley, aka Trial by Violence, beat Bad Bones and Shax. Brady Phillips beat JJ Barker. The Joseph Connors Experience featuring Il Ligero beat Heated Sugar of LJ Heron and Sugar Dunkerton. So weirdly enough, even though at least with Ligero, he's he's going to be doing the E stuff and it won't be doing any more shows for Southside. They actually had him go over. I guess it's weird. Dan Maloney beat El Fantasmo. Shana retained the Queen of Southside title against Zia Brookside and Kanji. Jay Lethal and Sean Custom went to a time limit draw in the Proving Grounds match. And then in the 6-man tag, Robbie X, Chief Deputy Dunn and Styx beat JBH of Big Grizzly Blake and Kip Sabian. With Big Grizzly getting the pin, Big Grizzly getting pinned, therefore meaning he must leave Southside and never come back. Which half the time means that they come back 6 months later, but there you go.
Of course.
PCW Endgame, Preston City Wrestling. Yes, we're stealing ideas from Avengers. Of course we are. The Buyout retained the tag titles against Joey Hayes and Ashton Smith. The Buyout being Danny Hope and Sheik El Sham. Number 1 contenders scramble match. Philip Michael beat Dave Birch, AC Striker, Bruce Wheeler, and Arcadian. Tyson T-Bone beat Shigehiro Iri. Nick Aldis retained the NWA World title against Yeston Reese. Nightshade also retained the PCW Women's title in a last one standing match against Rio. Dean Allmark beat Lionheart. Jordan Grace went over you. No, that's actually the name. YUU. I don't know if there was anything to do with Soldier Boy with that. Hopefully not. And then in a voice versus hair match, Matthew Brooks beat Tel Bannum, the heavyweight and cruiserweight champion. I don't know whether that means Tel Bannum loses his voice or loses his hair. Seems a bit weird. Afterwards, Tel Bannum, Big T Justice, and Nightshade joined the Buyout, and they, along with Danny Hope and Sheik El Sham, beat down Brooks, Hayes, Allmark, and Philip Michael. So I guess that happened. And with the Stardom stuff, there actually was a title change. Hazuki winning the high-speed title against Mary Apache. No other titles changed hands. Queen's Quest of Momo Watanabe and Utami Hayashishita retained the tag titles, the Goddess of Stardom titles, as they call it, beating the Artist of Stardom champions Saki Kashima and Tam Nakano. Wait, they've already got tag belts. Why have they got... What? They need 2 sets of tag belts? I don't get this. This is all very confusing. So in terms of stuff coming this weekend, I think it's pretty much nothing. Oh, I actually forgot CWF. Mid-Atlantic. See what happened with them. With Battlecade and all that stuff. Hopefully they've got the card on their Book of Faces. There is some Rising Generation League stuff from them apparently this year. Or this weekend. Oh, Battlecade was actually shown on Twitch. God damn it. Never get to see this stuff. Probably should have done. Let's see. Go away, advert. So Battlecade for CWF Mid-Atlantic. Bobby Wolfhart beat LeBron Cozone. Mike Mars won the 4-way scramble, which Savage beating Chris Taylor, Donnie Bit Don, and Snooty Fox. Jesse Ortega beat Mace Lee. In a 6-way shootout for the Rising Generation League title, Cool J became the new champion, beating the former champ Ulysses D. Moss, along with Alexander Moss, Bellamy Koga, Kyle Misery, and Teddy Island Jr. Smith Garrett beat Rick Converse. Rob McBride and Steve Green beat Roy Wilkins and Stephen Idol. Eric Andrews beat the Kamikaze Kid. Aaron Biggs beat Otto Schwanz to become new CWF Mid-Atlantic TV champ. And John Schuyler beat Cam Carter to become new Ultra J champ. And then titles didn't change hands further on, as Michael McAllister and Nick Richards beat Dirty Daddy and Ethan Alexander Sharp to retain the tag belts. And then Trevor Lee beat Eric Royal to retain the CDF Mid-Atlantic Heavyweight title. The interesting thing apparently with this is if Trevor Lee lost, he'd not only lose his title, but have to leave the promotion forever. That was the rules. And the match went, wow, about 40 minutes. Trevor's getting a lot of time. I wouldn't be surprised because there are apparently rumors saying that he's going to the E, which, considering with the Hardy situation that's over there, isn't that obvious?
It would be likely.
The only stuff I can think of that's actually happening this weekend. Okay, so there are Rev Pro tapings this Saturday and Sunday, actually. I should probably click that and click that, so I keep following it. I'll see if they've got some card announced for that one. The only one I can think of, obviously, off the top of my head, even though I know it isn't listed here, because I don't even know if we have a card for it. Fight Club Pro are doing their Tokyo show and all that on January 7th. I'm guessing because of the whole Japanese tradition, they aren't announcing anything. Interestingly, if people want to buy tickets, it is going through the Sendai Girl stuff. So I think we know who's actually hosting that thing. Chris Brooks, Jimmy Havoc, Carl Fletcher, Dunkzilla, Ricky Shane Page, and Lycos will be part of the show, along with Satamura, apparently. Trying to see if we've... Oh, no, we have got some of the card. So CCK of Lycos and Brooks are facing Tozawa and Miko Satomura. The Strong Hearts, which is... I can't remember. I think it's Chima and somebody else are facing OWE, which isn't anything to do with OVE. And then Speedball Mike Bailey going one-on-one with Mao, who's the KOD, one half of the KOD tag team champs, the Moonlight Express. Or is that no? Actually, no. That's the name of the tag team, I think. It's just that they aren't paired up. I guess it makes sense that they advertise the Tokyo talent, because probably the Japanese people don't know who half of the British talent is and everything. And when they did announce over Christmas that Phoenix and Penta are going to be part of a Dream Tag Team Invitational stuff that they do over April time. Also LAX as well, apparently. Along with Pac and Aita. That's already getting busy. Okay, Beauty Bear face Dash Chisako and Millie McKenzie. Oh, wow. Millie's going to get a lot of fun there. Also, Strong BJ. Face Aussie Open. And there's going to be a 4-way with Drew Parker, Young Kasai, Jimmy Havoc, and Ricky Shane Page. Oh, wow. If people die in that, I'm not going to be surprised. That's rather disturbing me. That's concerning. In a lot of ways. Okay, so we've got Chardonnay versus Laura Di Matteo as part of the Rev Pro cockpit stuff. Just having a quick look through the Facebook for all the messages. Zoe Lucas versus you. I don't know whether any other matches have been added. Oh, Sami Zayn is going to be... Oh, because they're doing a Queen of the Ring tournament as part of the thing. I guess. So many of the shows are actually bloody... They're advertising the January 11th stuff. And, of course, Pac being part of the March show. But I've got a lot to go through. We ain't got time for that. But yeah, there's certainly 2 Rev Pro shows this weekend in the UK, and then you got the Fight Club Pro show in Japan. And I think everybody else is having the week off, recovering from Christmas/New Year and whatever. But it should be some interesting stuff at least going down. Obviously, we'll be covering more of that next week. I don't think anything's happened in MLW of note because I still think the shanking stuff happened. It might have been a best of show last week. I can't remember off the top of my head. Haven't caught the replay because there was a random sort of like Christmas show as well, which I haven't been able to catch yet on the YouTube. So either way, I think that's your lot for tonight/today. So I guess that means the schedule for tomorrow is, Owen?
I don't know. We're doing the Oscar Popcast should be tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night, okay.
Afternoon, at night, don't know what time yet. Somewhere
at some
time
point.
frame.
So I shouldn't have said that. I've just noticed there is a statement from Cody that he put up on Twitter a few hours ago, actually, but I'll just quickly run through it. It says, quote, "I feel so damn lucky. I believe that more than talent, more than chance, work ethic will guide me where I'd like to go. To be exec vice president for our new venture and to be flanked by Matt and Nick and a few familiar names sharing that position, this is my dream job. I can't think of a time when so many of wrestling's top free agents all opted out of the road, usually traveled, and instead wanted to start something new. I'm excited to see AAW into existence. What's old isn't new. What's new is new. Perception isn't reality. Reality is reality. Fans first." Oh, wow. They haven't taken a dig at the WWE. You got to love it. Oh. And I've just seen All Elite Wrestling tweet. Yep. There's the contract signed. Brandy, Cody, the Bucks, and Hangman Page are signed.
Yep.
So that's happened. I don't think anything else has happened on Twitter. Yeah, that's actually it. In terms of what we're doing for Wrestle Kingdom, if we do anything, it will be a post show.
Yep.
Because we're probably gonna have too much fun with Ibushi and Osprey. We'll lose our shit even for them, which is pretty important. In terms of what else, I've just shot a video for Snack Stash, which will be coming your way in the next day or two. Fitting in somewhere in the crazy schedule. I guess, are we back as usual next Monday? Or is
We
that
should be, unless something changes. I don't know yet.
In terms of where they are, let's have a quick look. Obviously, we know that. Oh, apparently NXT's in Jacksonville on Friday as well. So there's a lot happening at Jacksonville, apparently. Jacksonville's Tuesday. They're in Orlando on Monday. Owen isn't going.
No.
Despite the fact that Brock Lesnar's there and John Cena. Because they realise that they're desperate. Although, that's interesting. I just noticed that apparently, unless it's been cancelled, no, it is happening. Kevin Owens is doing a meet and greet next Friday in Cincinnati. Does that mean he's going to be on the show Monday or Tuesday? Because they don't normally have inactive talents doing meet and greet stuff. Oh, Christ. And next week as well is NXT UK TakeOver. I don't know how. I'm probably not going to be able to do that live, are we, Owen?
No.
That's like 1 PM your time, and that's work time. So it's like, whether we do a show that night or whatever, or whether we just wrap it into the Raw stuff, we'll see. But completely forgot that was next weekend. I thought it was like the week before the Rumble, not the other way around, not 2 weeks before. Anyway, that's all my stuff.
All right. That's our show. Thanks everyone for joining us tonight. And as always, in a world where there are a billion wrestling podcasts, we're very pleased that once more you've chosen a Popcast. I want to thank everyone for watching. Thanks everyone for listening. And until tomorrow, boys and girls, that's all we got to say about that.
Nighty night.